she has moved from 12th up to 9th. We're doing good. I told her, I said, girl, I said, just slow down those entries, keep the car under control. It's all about surviving. It's gonna be a rough race, it's gonna be a lot of wrecks. You gotta survive to the end to have a shot. So she's doing it, she's paying attention. She's been smooth so far. Restarts are always rough though. This thing's like $2,000 to win now. All these guys are wanting that money.
Rachel here with Dirt Race Life. We are at Clayhill Motorsports in Attwood, Tennessee for the race for Jace Memorial. 1,500 to win for factory stock. So we're excited for that, but it'll be my first race that I actually have to qualify in.
So I think Rachel's gonna do well tonight. Going through, I had a lot of damage on the front end that I could not repair before the feature race at Camden. Basically, like in the heat race, she was rolled into the right rear better than I have ever seen on this car with somebody driving it. And it was right. I mean, it was really right. And she ended up overdriving the car in the heat race at Camden last time she ran, because she just got so confident. She just kept pushing herself deeper and deeper and deeper into the corner till she got herself in trouble. Didn't really get on her about that. I was just happy to see her pushing the car so hard and it working. But then in the feature race, you know, she was snapping out in the middle, she was pushing everything. Well, when we got to doing, of course, that night, you know, we just beat out a tie rod in, got the toe back set, you know, fix what we could, send her out there. Well, the car was terrible because it was pushing out in the middle, and I thought, well, it was just because she had slowed down some and the car was no longer holding weight transferred over. In reality, the back side of my upper control arm, it had folded up like a U and took all the camber. I had like 3 or 4 degrees, maybe more than that, probably more than that, of negative camber on the left front tire. The left front tire just wasn't working anymore. And so, like, basically she had the right front tire still working, the left front, it was just getting drug along. So that's the reason the car quit turning, which tells me we're probably on it on the setup for her on the Camaro. I think she'll do well qualifying, because where she's really been focusing on is just racing the car against the track, and that's all qualifying is. So I think she'll be fine on qualifying. I don't know as far as the show goes. We looked a while ago and there were like 20 cars entered, but it's about all the cars have come in that are gonna come in. So I suspect if it's like 24 cars or less, they're probably just gonna take everybody to the feature. So hopefully she'll make the main show regardless of where she qualifies. So, you know, yeah, it's gonna be a challenge, but I think the car is right. And I think driving wise, I think she's there and ready. So yeah, I am excited for her. Anything can happen, but she's got an opportunity tonight to do really well. She doesn't have many races left this year, so I really want to see her do well. All right, let's keep our fingers crossed.
They have raised it up to $2,000 to win tonight. They had a sponsor come in at the very last minute with a $500 donation. So tonight's feature win will be $2,000. So we're excited about that. We're getting the stuff loaded up on the car now. We're going to get out there, start the hot laps, and then it's on to qualifying.
Like that it was holding load in and you were throttling up and the car was staying under you. It was tailing out a little bit at times, but you were holding it, so it's good. We're good. So qualifying wise, go out there and do the same thing. Go out there and do the same thing.
It felt good.
Just really think about, you're out there by yourself. Get out there and make that nice sweeping turn. That's like focus on making a nice sweeping turn, because car's good, and we're fixing to qualify.
It held pretty good too on that. It's dusty.
Oh yeah. So they put some more water on the bottom of the track. The 602s are rolling it around right now, but there's not but like 5 602s out there.
Right.
And they're not gonna run but 8 laps, and then y'all are gonna be qualifying.
Yeah.
So there could be some wet stuff or whatever. There could be some loose material, but when you went out and hot lap a while ago, there was some loose material.
It was.
The car was biting fine. So basically, We're just gonna go out for this qualifying, and it's just like we went out hot lapping. You know, it's just, you're gonna when you roll off, you're gonna come up to speed. You're gonna come through 1 and 2. Don't push the car real hard, just come through 1 and 2. Try to bring the car up to your full comfortable speed down the back straightaway.
Okay.
You go through 3 and 4, remember, when you come down that front straightaway, you're hitting the clock. So you need the car, you need to be pushing the car, you know, you need to be pushing, you know, whatever that, just like you were comfortable in the hot laps, okay? Run into that turn, remember, the track's still gonna have a lot of bite in it. The car is just a little bit nose heavy, so make sure you don't turn short. Make sure you're out and you make a big sweeping turn in. That way that you give the car room to turn.
Right.
You really don't want to mess with the setup because it's really, really close. All right, and then you're going to turn around, you're going to come back around, you're going to do it again. I think you're going to probably qualify good. Just keep the car under you, run through the middle of the track. I think the car is fast. We looked like we were fast out there earlier. I hadn't looked at the times and stuff, but I could tell by the other cars running on the track, you're fine. You're fine. So you ain't got to do anything special.
Okay.
You're going to be good. Qualified 11th out of 25 cars. Yeah. We can make the car faster. I need to work on the car. It's got a little bit of push in it that I think is a little too much. It's not necessarily going to come out for her. So, what can I do? I got a little bit of push in the middle. On turns 1 and 2, I got a little bit of push in the middle. I don't have any spacers on it. I got 3 off on it. I got a 4 off on the right rear. I got 3 off, 3 off, 3 off. I don't want to sit the left rear out. I don't want to change. I don't want to soften up the right front. I'm going to stick the left front out another ½ inch. Give the front end just a little bit more authority. That kind of put that left rear in just a little bit from it. That'll help just a little bit, maybe all she needs. Did the tail feel like it was kicking out on you any at all when you go in?
Yeah, just a little. No, not when I go in, when I was coming out.
But when you went in, the tail was not tailing out at all?
Not until I got to about the middle, when I started trying to get
throttling up.
Throttling up.
All right, leave the brake device alone.
Okay.
Second row outside. The girl qualified 11th out of 25 cars. She really didn't have a good line qualifying. Had some push still in the car. Still qualified 11th. We're getting somewhere now. All I need her to do is just turn laps and stay out of trouble. I think she'll go to the front. I think she's going to be racing tonight. entry into one, look, first 2 to 3 laps, your entry into one, you know, again, you were straight braking and then like making a square turn. About that 3rd or 4th lap, something must have clicked. You started rounding out, so your push went away. And then for the next 4 laps, you looked fantastic.
Yeah.
So your lap times were as good as anything else on the track, and probably my race pass will show that. And then you made a mistake, and then you started overdriving the car like crazy. Yeah, and then, because actually, down in 1 and 2, all that push and like fanning the car and up against walls, it's like if you'd have just slowed back down. Like you could have entered the turn slower and smoothed out, and you probably would have still come through it faster.
Oh, okay.
Because what was happening is that you were turning in and then you were forming the push, and then you were just fighting the car.
I really
You
was.
were just fighting the car, and it's like you just gotta slow down, because your lap times when you were running the turn a little slower were better. And you were fantastic down there 3 and 4.
3 and 4 just feels better.
Well, the setup is spot on for 3 and 4. 1 and 2 were a little tight, and I don't know how much. It's like I'm hoping the track is going to slick up more and more. And I know if you can be smooth on the wheel,
Yeah.
and brake, and I tell you, I don't know, like as you turn in, how much brake have you still got in the car?
I'm braking pretty hard, but I'm trying to get back some.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm braking too much, and then I'm having to throttle up.
Let's do this. Let's do this, okay? Not really so much worried about into 3 and 4. When you're coming into 1, don't run as deep into 1 on the throttle.
Okay.
Just back off the throttle a little earlier. That way you can brake smoother, because I think what's happening is when the car stays down on its nose and it's smooth, you can get the turn, but it's like you're probably like, in other words, if you're just a little too aggressive on the brake, the car is getting a bump, and then I'm losing the bite on that right front.
I'm definitely more aggressive going on the brake
A
into
little
turn
bit.
1 because I am trying to just send the car down the front stretch.
If we put a little more, and you know, like I have not changed the shocks. I've got some rebound in the right front. I probably could put a little more rebound in the right front, and it would probably like fix that. It might not hurt us like on the other end of the track, but I don't have the shock. I don't want to change anything. So, you know, smoother brake, and then try not to get out of the brake all at once. You know, try to like roll into that throttle, you know, like in other words, brake, and you still hold the pressure on the brake, and then throttling. Trying to get the car to stay on that right front, and then that left rear pick up and start holding. Because I think what's happening is we're going from the right front being down, and the left rear and the right rear, they don't have the car yet. In other words, it's like we're in between there, and the car it's no longer being held down on the front by the brake and by us, but we don't have the car throttled up, and then we're doing that. And I think that's just because we're jerking the car a little bit. So we gotta work on that. And listen, if the car is pushing on you on its nose, all I want you to think is, it's pushing, I need to slow the entry down.
Okay.
Just smooth that entry up.
I was honestly trying to race to get to the next one.
I know, but don't get tunnel vision.
I know.
You can't get tunnel vision, because you'll start chasing that car in front of you, and you start overdriving the car.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I know, it's easy to do that, so we don't want to do that. And the other thing too is, when you get out there, if that car is pushing a little bit or whatever, don't worry about what slowing down means as far as the other cars. Because if you figure out a better way to get through that turn, you might have somebody when you initially slow down that leads you. Don't worry about that. Even if you're falling back for a minute, if it helps you figure out how to get through that turn better, you may get more comfortable with the car and figure out a better line, and then you'll start making up some ground. All you want to do is focus. You got to finish the race. You got to run the fastest lap time that you can run in the car. But the car, I'm leaving it alone. I'm leaving it alone. We got some fresh tires we put on it, but other than that, we're gonna leave the car alone. We think we're there. I got 40 pounds of lead right here. No, I got 40 pounds of lead right there. I got 40 pounds of lead right here. I think we need to leave lead on the front car. I think it's one way. Help get the nose down. Like I was telling her, a little more rebound on the right front might would help. Might would help slow it down a little bit more as far as like it coming up. I don't think that, like it would take some drive out of the car, but the only alternative to that is if I soften up a little more on the right front. You know, I could do that. She may be ready for that. I could drop the spring rate on that right front. That might be the right thing to get the right in. Yeah, we can do that. Not tonight though. You know, I'm trying to figure out what's that last little thing we need to do. You know, and I think I'm good on the 50-50 style shocks on the back. I think that's what she needs. That seems to be working great. Car's got plenty of drive in it. Maybe a little more rebound on the right front, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think we got like 315 or 345 pounds of rebound on that Bilstein shock. It may be that just a little bit softer right front shock. I think I got a 900 on the right front. Maybe I'll try 850 on it, 800, 850, and then set it on the scales exactly back. You know, use a load stick and set it exactly back where it was. That might be the perfect thing. Get the bite and everything exactly where it was, but to let that rebound shock on the right front. It's not really a full true tie down. It's a digressive rebound shock, but maybe that'll be just enough to slow down that lift so that if she's not perfect on holding the speed in the car, it front end doesn't quite jump up quite as fast, and she gets that perfect match where she can really drive at its best. Thinking that's the next move. I've got all those springs, so not tonight, but I think I'm going to do that when we get back to the shop. So do that. Anyway, so we're in the feature. So we finished like last, I think, last or next to last. So we'll have to see, where are we at? Let's see, lineups. Are we still, all the factory stocks are done, aren't they? Heat 1, Heat 2, A feature, lineups. Where are we? We are starting, oh no, we're not in the back. We're 6th row outside. 6th row outside. And there is, yeah, they're starting a lot of cars. 6th row outside, so that's where we're starting. Woo, here we go. right, so they're spreading out. She's running in 9th place, but the cars are spreading out. And that car in front of her, she's trying to run that car down. And me and her talked about this. She's running into that turn deeper and deeper, and the car sticks a little bit better in 3 and 4, but she's about spun out twice now because she knows the car will stick a little better in 3 and 4, and she's running the car in harder and deeper. And I told her, I said, girl, you start getting that car in front of you, you're gonna have to remember, slow down, slow that entry back down. Doesn't matter if you spin the car out, you know, you cannot run a car down by just going deeper into the turn. And I hope that she recognizes that, got a caution here, realizes like, okay, I can't catch him by just running deeper into the turn. But she's about lost it twice there on them last 2 laps. She looks great up here in 1 and 2. She's really, she was struggling with that earlier, but she's looking great through 1 and 2. She smoothed that turn out. I think 3 and 4, the only thing going on there is she's probably just more confident in 3 and 4, and she's really, you know, pushing on the car. And I just hope that she doesn't let that desire to like try to catch that car cause her to push the car too far. And anyway, because still got a lot of laps left to go. There's not but 8 laps left, so. a race car in like, I think 7 races in her life. She just finished 7th out of 22 starting for a 2,000 to win. By next year, she gonna be hurting her feelings. 25 laps, a lot of laps, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot. Boy, my arms are pretty sore right now.
Yep.
I'll say that.
I'm gonna tell you something. You did everything I asked.
I know.
You get the car out from under you, and I'd be like, slow down.
I did.
And then I would see you would back off.
I did.
You had a couple of times where you got anxious, and there was a gap that got in front of you, and then you pushed it too hard.
And I did it, and I was like,
you
okay.
saved it every time.
I was like, slow down, slow down,
Yep.
slow down. And then there was a car that bumped me on the back seat. I was like, oh, I gotta go.
And what was and 1 and 2 dialed in.
Yeah.
1 and 2 dialed in, and then 3 and 4. So probably the changes we made, we improved 1 and 2. But see, then you see how you got a little looser in 3 and 4.
Definitely.
See, it's a balancing act. The two ends of the tractor are different. So it's like, am I going to be tired on one end, or am I going to be loose on the other?
Right.
But we were right in there. Cars, perfect.
Car felt, man. Even the steering feels different from when I ever first raced. I don't feel like I'm having to really turn as hard as I used to.
Yep.
Which also helps in
Well, you're keeping the car rolling forward, which means you're not chasing it.
Right. I don't feel like I'm chasing it anymore at all. Unless I give it a little too much.
Yeah. You did good. You were doing better. I was asking, because I asked you, I'm like, when you get the car on the right rear and you're coming off that corner, don't just keep gassing down on it. Get it in the drift and just be easy. I could tell you were a lot easier off the corner. 10 times better.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. All right, so here's how we did on the car. So we qualified 25 cars timed in. She qualified 11th. Turned around, ended up starting 4th in her heat, finished 4th in her heat. Started 12th in the feature, came to 7th, and legit cars.
Legit cars. They were some nice cars out there.
By next year, you're gonna be hurting their feelings. By next year.
Get ready, boys.
Y'all, this is Dirt Race Life. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget, comment, thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, folks, because this is good stuff.
Exactly.
See you next time.
See ya. My eyelashes look okay?
Your eyelashes? Oh my God. Girl. Really? We ain't worried about your eyelashes.
You gotta be pretty too sometimes.
Anyway.